Well, you know who doesn't have a bright future, Rob?
Uh-oh, who's that?
The Phoenix Suns. I don't know why I was thinking San Antonio. The Phoenix Suns, Rob, and Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, championship coach Frank Vogel, swept like so many dust balls into the dustbin, swept like so many balls of lint into the trash. 4 games, 4 L's against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And Rob, the first 3 of them were routes.
Yep.
Double-digit victories last night. They played a little bit better, but still went down by 6 points. And Rob, first question, there's a lot to get to here. First thing I want to ask you, who do you blame for this debacle that is the Phoenix Suns?
Well, I'm going to blame the front office, Chris, for putting this together because they did not put together a good enough roster. The Beal trade, whoever pulled that trade off in Washington, Chris, should get a double raise today when they realized that they were able to get rid of Bradley Beal and that monstrosity of a contract, right, that you're saddled with. Because, Chris, we talk about all the time, the contract, you can't get rid of it. Somebody's always willing to take a bad contract. Apparently.
This one might be, I don't know about this one now. You're right.
They got rid of it.
Time.
Nobody thought that they could get him, right? That they could trade him in Washington, and they were able to do it. But Chris, when you think about where they are and what happened, we talked about it before. I told you. Kevin Durant is NBA dead. And now, Chris, we went before, it was just that he wasn't a conversation anymore, right? That's what I was saying. He wasn't even a conversation.
Right, he still was putting up his numbers.
He was doing his numbers.
He's going to probably make second-team All-NBA.
Right, but there was no buzz about Kevin Durant despite the numbers. And now he can't even win a playoff game. Forget about a series.
He was swept 2 years ago with
in
the
Brooklyn
Nets.
when they got swept and he was dismantled by. They didn't make they make the play-in last year, or did they even make it?
They made the playoffs, but he didn't. They did win a round, I think, and got beat in the second round.
Okay,
yeah,
but when you look at where Durant
they beat the Clippers, right? They beat the Clippers without Paul George and Kawhi. So, and then they got beat by Denver in the second round.
That was it, right. Yeah. I almost forget about that series because of the Clippers being
injuries,
depleted. Yeah. But my point is, he's NBA dead now. I mean, I don't even know, and that doesn't mean that he's not. I'm not taking away his accomplishments and his place in the NBA. But to go to Phoenix, Chris, where they had gone to the championship without him, okay? They were up 2-0. And everybody was ranting and raving. And when they got Kevin Durant, you included, me, we thought they're going to be viable in the West.
Absolutely.
They will be viable, okay?
Absolutely.
And they just haven't been viable. And to have this blow up in their face when they have these 3 guys and really nothing else and not be able to forget about winning the series. Because Minnesota's a really good team and have been all year, Chris. But to not be able to even win a game, to not win a game.
They beat Minnesota 3-0 in the regular season. I mean, I know,
again, it tells you all you need to know, right?
Right. But I agree. I'm looking at the front office, and I'm even going above them.
The owner, huh?
Yep, Matt Ishbia.
Gesundheit.
Too many times these owners, Rob, they come in and they think they're about to play fantasy basketball in the real NBA. Right? Oh! Let me go get KD with these.
Just make a trade. We don't
Bradley
care.
Beal.
Who was it?
You know what? These are human beings. Chemistry matters. Fit matters. They would have been better off in every way, Rob, keeping Chris Paul instead of trading from Bradley Beal. I got Bradley Beal. In fact, I've got a better Bradley Beal in Devin Booker. I didn't need another one. You know what I need? A point guard. You put Booker at point, yeah, he's good enough to run the point, get 7 assists a game, but he's not a point guard, he's a 2. You needed a point guard, and Chris Paul's money next year wasn't even guaranteed, Rob. So now instead of or instead of having 3 years, $160 million due to Bradley Beal on a contract that has a no trade clause to add, insult to injury, you could have had Chris Paul and either let him walk this summer or kept him for $30 million 1 year. You'd have been better, and I know they would have been a better team. I don't know that they would have beat Minnesota, but they would have been a better basketball team, even with Chris Paul in this diminished state. I also think, Rob, and this is all hindsight, but hey, it is what it is. They shouldn't have traded DeAndre Ayton.
Yep.
Not for Yusef Nurkic. And I get Ayton was tired of Phoenix. Ayton wanted out. You were tired of him. But Monty Williams, the coach, was gone. That was a big part of the problem, right? Him and Ayton. He was gone. Couldn't you have made good on Ayton and made up with him?
Right. Because the coach wasn't there. The problem that was the rub was gone.
Because Ayton was 17 and 10. I'm not saying he's Joel Embiid, but he was 17 points, 10 rebounds with no plays run for him. He was a factor on the defensive end and the offensive end much more than Yusef Nurkic. So they made some bad moves, Rob. So and that all is on the owner, Matt Ishbia, because he's not an absentee owner. He wants to be involved. He wants his fingerprints on stuff.
This is his play thing.
And now here are your fingerprints, right? This is his play thing.
This is Jerry Jones in a small, way smaller scale, but instead of making sure you go out and get the people, you can own the team, Chris, sit in the front row, have your drinks, entertain your people, and leave the basketball stuff to the basketball people. Like, that is the best way to do it. And it's just, when you think about where the Suns are, they're doomed. They're really in a bad spot for a long time to go.
Here's what I think they have to do, as great as he is still. I think they have to trade Kevin Durant. Because like you said, there's nowhere else. You can't trade Bradley Beal. I mean, Rob, we talked about it. Untradeable contracts. No one is 100% untradeable. But, Rob, who is taking him for 3 years, $160 million when he hasn't played more than 60 games since 2019? And he didn't play that well this year in these playoffs. Terrible yesterday. Who's taking that? And Devin Booker's young enough where I want to build around Booker. He's still young enough where I can build around him. And so I think, Rob, I'm looking to see what I can get for Kevin Durant. Golden State, Jonathan Kuminga. Then I can get Chris Paul's contract. I mean, I got to get more than Kuminga. I got to get a bunch of picks. But I don't know. I mean, Oklahoma City, they got a ton of picks, but they probably don't have the contracts to make it work. There's been talk about the Lakers, Rob, the Knicks. I mean, there are a lot of teams out there that could use Kevin Durant. It's got to be a team, Rob, that's close to a championship.
Yeah, and Beal has the no trade, right?
Yeah, so that's why I don't think you can trade Beal.
You can't trade him. So now with Durant, I hear you. I just, at this point, it's got to be a team.
What if Boston loses? If Boston, for some reason, doesn't get to the Eastern Conference Finals, would you take maybe a Jaylen Brown and Drew Holiday for Kevin Durant?
I don't even know. I'm going to be honest at this point, Chris. I know this sounds crazy.
I'm just throwing names out.
No, I know, but I'm saying I don't know where Kevin Durant is. I got to be honest, and I'm not saying
you saying you might not even want him.
I might not want Kevin Durant. I at this point.
I'd only want him if I'm right there.
And it would have to be
right on the doorstep.
Right. I agree with that. You're not getting him on a team that's trying to get there or a year or two away.
No.
He's not that player. But I just wonder, like recently, he just doesn't seem the same to me, even in the postseason. Like the numbers are there, but it doesn't seem like they register into wins, and that's scary as you get older. And then, Chris, let's be honest, that health issue there is always there with him as well. Now it just is. This
year, God bless him, he was healthy, but there's no doubt that's always going to be a factor. All right, 877-99 on Fox, your turn to weigh in. Who do you blame for the Phoenix Suns going out unceremoniously in these playoffs? And would you trade Kevin Durant if you're the Suns? Because there's really no other way for them to improve. Have no draft picks, essentially. Have, a couple of untradeable players. They're going to have the highest payroll in the league next year. So that's really the only way to improve. I don't want to trade Booker because he's younger. Who do you blame for the Suns' demise, and should they trade or entertain trading Kevin Durant? Where'd you like to see him go? Your thoughts?
All right, let's kick it off with Dre in Michigan. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Dre?
You two dudes, what's going on, fellas?
How you, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing great, man. I'm doing great. I blame management. I blame ownership, man, because everybody wants this instant gratification, microwave teams, instead of sitting on the stove and letting it simmer for a while. If you look at Minnesota, you look at OKC, you look at Boston, and all these other teams that's playing real well, it's because they put their teams on, they let it simmer. And they let it build up, and then it works out. But if it's for a trade, I think it'd be a win-win to trade them back to OKC, because OKC got a ton of first and second round draft picks for the next couple of years, and KD would be able to go back home and finish where he started without ruining their team, because it's still a Shea team. You still have Chet Holmgren.
Right.
And you still got the other
He
guys,
would be a great fit. I would not trade, obviously not trading SGA or Holmgren. I wouldn't even trade Jalen Williams for him. I would just want to get him for a bunch of draft picks and anybody else and fit him right in. He is a fit. He's a guy you can drop in. I don't need him to lead. I just need him to give me 25 points a night with his jumper. That's it. I like that. I don't know if it's possible, but I like it.
Alan in Oregon, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Alan?
Long-time listener, and I've called in a few times. Hey, just for reference, my first game, I was sitting half court, and I saw, in February 1976, I saw Kareem Abdul-Jabbar outduel Pistol Pete Maravich. From then on, I was a fan.
Wow.
Anyway,
that's a great one.
Anyways, it starts at the top. Really, your most valuable player, in a sense, is going to be your coach. He makes the players. There's a wealth of talent. Granted, the league is stacked, so it's difficult. But if you want to blame somebody, you find someone that fits in. Look at your Coach of the Year candidates. They were able to touch their players to make things work. Vogel did not make it work. If you want to blame somebody, I guess you can start with the GM, but I think I'd get rid of Vogel. You got a wealth of talent on the Phoenix Suns, even young talent there, and they could make it work, but they didn't have a right coach.
The reports are coming out that he's lost the locker room. He's only been there a year, Rob.
I mean,
but
Chris,
he might. This is not. You keep replacing your coaches and your roster.
It's too easy.
Hard, but I don't think he did a great job.
No, I don't
think
either,
he's a
Chris.
good coach. Well, I don't think he did a great job.
I'm with you, but you can't every time you lose blame the. Look at what they have there. Like what? Show me what didn't he do? Like you'd have to give me an example for me to really.
No, they didn't give him a point guard.
You know what I mean? Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like, is that the coach's fault? He don't have a point guard?
Right.
And you know me, I'm not into protecting coaches if they don't do a good job.
Neither of us is. Right. But look, if they replace him, I mean, it's hard to defend him, but I don't think he was terrible. The question is, has he lost them, Rob? If once you've lost players, it is hard to get them back. And if that's true, it's going to be tough for him. But if not, then, he won a championship with the Lakers. He did a great job in Indiana. He didn't win in Orlando. Who does recently? Right. Now they're starting to play a little bit better, but I don't see that as second coach of the year.
Going to get another coach, Chris, and there's nobody out there who's got a championship you're going to hire. So whoever you get is going to be starting over. I mean,
they gave Vogel 4
there?
years, Rob. 4 years, I think $31 million, something like that. I mean, you got to pay him.
That's ridiculous.
So, yeah, I agree with you. It's just hard to keep replacing coaches.
Alex in Florida, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Alex?
What's good, fella? Two of the realest dudes on radio. I'm feeling y'all.
Thank you, my man. Appreciate it.
5 years, $31 million is Vogel's deal.
5 years.
I blame the roster builders, the GM. Ultimately, the owner has it. Because come on, man, I get you want talent. I get you want your big three, but they're done. They got no bench right now. You got one first-round draft pick this year, then you ain't got nothing until 2030.
That's crazy.
How do you? That don't even make sense to me. 2030. That's like You know what I mean? What's that, 35 years? I'm joking, but still.
But you know what it was? You know what it's like? It's like it's like the Rams. You remember after picks? You remember that was their big thing.
Definitely.
Yep.
That's
And they
what
got
it
their
is.
one.
They got
they're
at least,
actually back.
at least
playing
they
pretty
got
well,
one,
but
Chris.
yeah,
but
right,
you know what I
right.
mean? Like if you don't
Yep.
get one, it could be a disaster.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
My trade idea, yes, I would entertain trading him. If I'm the Knicks, I give him a call. I'm only giving up draft picks.
The Knicks got picks.
Yeah, I mean, you usually
I
have
give
to
up
make
some things.
financial.
Yeah,
I mean,
you got to match up
figure out how the
salaries. You got to
salary
match
works.
salaries.
yeah, that's the thing.
I know they got to make the money right. You know what I
Randall
mean?
and
Figure that out.
Bogdanovich, Chris. What about those two?
You know what I mean? Because he's a plug and play. You know what I mean?
That's
him
all right.
him with Brunson. You know what I mean?
Oh, he is a plug and play. No, there's no doubt. And Brunson is a leader, so that's what you need. You need a leader because it's not going to be KD. So I agree with you on that.
Yep. Thanks, Alan. Appreciate it. Hey, Chris, do we have time for one more? No. One more?
Go one more, yeah, quick.
Let's go to Mike in Montana. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Mike?
Hey, guys, I blame Kevin Durant.
Okay.
And if I was an NBA GM, here's the reason why I would not want him on my team. And he's in the Western Conference Finals up 3-1 with OKC, with 2 Hall of Famers on his team, doesn't win. A month later, he goes and joins the team that beats him, which means he's kind of a quitter on that team. He goes and wins a couple championships, but he can't get along with those guys there, so he gets out of there. He goes to Brooklyn, has another couple Hall of Fame guys with him, can't win there. He wants out again. Now he's in Phoenix. When your best player is constantly unhappy, there's no cohesiveness to the team. He's supposed to be the leader of the team, and if you're always unhappy and always blaming somebody else as opposed to putting it on your shoulders and saying, hey, we're going to go win, he should have stayed in OKC originally and said, we're going to go win a championship. But he's always looking for a way out. He's always looking for an excuse. The guy's not a winner. He only won because he joined the championship team.
I don't know how you could say that. He won the MVP in those, and he played really well. I mean, you can't take that from him.
I'm not going to say he's not a winner.
I can't take that from
but
him.
Look, I don't put as much weight in those championships. He played well. He was the best player, but in my view, any number of great players that are shooters could have stepped right in there and done the same thing. I mean, it just come on. They were a 73-win team without him.
I can't say
and won
just
2 championships without him.
I just can't say that anybody would have got it done. I don't believe that.
With his skill set, the way he plays, he is a plug and play, and that's the credit to him. But, I mean, he never should have left Golden State. You can talk about OKC. He definitely never
he should have left Golden State the way that they treated him and talked about him. I have no issue.
How's it going now? He might have 4 or 5 rings and be viewed as one of the top 10 players ever.
Yeah, I get it, but there's a way.
They joked with him. I mean,
there's a way to be treated, Chris.
I don't think they didn't respect him. I think they joked with him, and he probably didn't take it.
He got his feelings hurt, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, but you talk because they suspended Draymond, not KD. I mean, they joked with him at the parade. I remember that. And that, if you want to say that was, I mean, it was jokes. Nobody, but if he took it that way, then you just talk it out.
Chris, that would be like, all right, we won some big award in the radio business, and Scott and Don are up at the mic, and they go, well, the Odd Couple, if it wasn't for Rob Parker, we wouldn't be standing here. I mean, you wouldn't feel that. You could say all you want. Oh, well, you just got to, they were just joking around. That would not sit right with you if you were a part of a team.
I'd have to talk with him see. And look, and I will say this. When he left, I understood because it wasn't because of the slights. To me, at least for me, it was he wanted to go somewhere and show he could win. But then the flip side happened. He showed he couldn't. And I'll give him a pass in New Jersey or Brooklyn because they were injured.
They only played 30 games together, right? That was ridiculous.
They didn't really have a chance. And here he is. They've been a bit banged up in Phoenix, but still.